Dan Perry here with another C++ video for Dan on Tech. In this video, we're actually not going to look at the C++ programming as such. We're going to get ready for the next program, and we're going to do that by talking about math. Well, computer programs, the big power of them, they can do calculations and math calculations very, very fast. So we have the same basic math operations that we have on a calculator. There are also a library of math functions that we'll look at later on, but for right now, just a quick overview of the math. We have, of course, the standard math functions. We have addition, use a plus sign. Subtraction is a minus sign, as we would expect. You use an asterisk for multiplication and a slash for division. So we've got add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And when I'm writing, when I misspell something and all, I'm not going to always go back and fix it. And sometimes we can't read my writing anyway. Now, there's another math operator that we use frequently, and that is the percent sign, and the percent sign is called the modulus, or the modulo operator. Now, it does something a little bit different than what you are used to, and something may be new to you. The add, subtract, multiply, and divide functions, they work with both integer numbers and with floating point numbers. The modulus only works with integers, data of int type. And what it does is it does an integer division, but instead of returning the results of that division, what it does is it returns the remainder. So if we were to take two integer values and divide them, we would get a number with a possible remainder. So we'll look at that in just a minute. So let me grab a new page here, and just some simple math operations. Of course, we know that if we had 3 plus 5, that would give us 8. Now, I've not told us how to do math in C++ yet, but we'll just do it the way we'd do math by hand. If we had 3 minus 2, that would give us a 1. If we put the equations in properly in C++, we would get the same results. If we wanted to multiply 2 times 4, that would give us 8. And maybe if we had 4 divided by 2, that would give us 2. Now, if this 4 and 2 are integers, it would give us 2 and come out even. Now, here's that modulus division. If we did, let's say, 5 modulus, or 5, what we normally say is mod 2, well, 5 divided by 2, the integer or whole number portion of that's 2, but it would have a remainder of 1. And that's what we would get back from the modulus. If we had, let's say, 8 mod 5, that would give us the result, the remainder would be 3, because 8 will go into 5 one time with a remainder of 3. Well, since about the 3rd or 4th grade, we've known that you had real numbers and had fractional portions of numbers. So you say, well, why do we want to do things with integers where we get the remainder? Well, there are a lot of applications in cryptography, in generating random numbers, where we need to generate random numbers between two values, that this function really works out nicely for us. So we will have that function. Now, a couple of other things dealing with math. If we were in a math class and I gave you let's say 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3 times 3, what would the answer be? Now, if you've not been in a math class in a long time and all, you may not remember the way you do things, and you might say, well, that's 15 because you add the 2 and the 3 together and that gives you 5, and you multiply it by 3, that gives you 15. But that wouldn't be right, because the rules for doing multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction in math is that you always do the multiplication first. So we would get the 9, so it would be 2 plus 9 and give us 11. Well, if we enter this calculation into a C++ program, we're also going to get 11. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to do the same order of operations. So what the basic order of operations is C++ is going to do multiplication and division first. It will, and actually, let me go ahead and put the modulus, the modulo there. It will do those first, then it will do addition and subtraction. Now, if for some reason we're using something in programming we call the unary operator, that will do that first, and that is something along the lines of if we had minus 3 times 5, that minus is a sign. That minus says this is a negative 3. So sign operations, values that tell whether the number is positive or negative, actually are done first. That's not actually a subtraction. That is a sign operation that tells us this is a negative 3. So that is done first. Now, let's go back to where we had the I think it was 2 plus 3 times 3. And in math, if I wanted it to add the 2 and 3 together first, I would put those in parentheses. If you put something in parentheses, that says do it first. Well, the same thing's going to happen with the computer program. If I use parentheses in my C program, that's going to say do that first. So this would add the 2 and 3 together and give us 5, and then 5 times 3 is 15. So the computer would do the same thing. It would add the 2 to 3 and 3 together and get us the 5, and then multiply that by the 3. So if you want to force the order of operations and force it to do this addition first, or subtraction, then you use parentheses just like you would in solving a math problem. Now, in the next video, we're going to do some examples of these, so please come back and watch the next video, and if you've not already subscribed to this playlist, please subscribe to this playlist, as well as any of the other Dan on Tech playlists we have available.